Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. Today we are going to take a look at Mr. Freeze's ice gun. So let's get this party started. So we have the dual pistol style and we have the rifle style, so let's consume them both. And we already have the dual pistols equipped with this little guy, so let's switch it to that right now. So if we go to the style tab, you can see Mr. Freeze's pistols, and let's see if we can change, oh yeah, we can change the colors. So some of those weapons are color locked, but in the case of our friend Mr. Freeze, it seems that this one is not. And if for some cases it would be color locked for some reasons, what you could do is that you could use some materials to be able to change the colors if you want to. These are really nice guns. And here I'm using, sadly this is the Mr. Freeze style we have in the game right now. Hopefully someday maybe they'll give us a better style, but right now this is what we have. And the dual pistols, I mentioned that in a previous video, but it's one of the few, it's the only weapon where you can actually fire in two directions at the same time. I love this weapon. For the first year and a half, and this is pretty much what I was using playing DCUO. And of course, we have also Mr. Freeze's rifle, just to be safe. So yeah, you can change the colors of that one as well. And there we go. For me, this feels more like Mr. Freeze. I don't recall seeing him using dual pistols before. As far as I can recall, I always remember him seeing using some sort of big gun, one big gun, but I could be misremembering. And I can already hear you ask, where can we get Mr. Freeze's ice gun? Let's take a look. The first option I usually suggest is the broker. The reason why I suggest the broker is that whenever you see the broker, you know exactly what you need to do. Like in this case, you need to gather, let's say, $1 million for the dual pistols. The rifle seems to be 500,000. So you can get it for fairly cheap on the broker. And you can get the box itself for about 2 million. So the reason why I always suggest the broker first is that with sadly the random drops, you never know when you're going to get the item. With the broker, you know that you gather 500,000, you can just buy it right off the broker. But if you play if you try to fight the NPCs and hope for the weapon to drop, you might do it once, twice, 2,053 times, and still not get the weapon to drop. So usually the safest way for me is to use a broker. I have to give my usual broker warning. Prices on the broker changes all the time. These are the prices on the broker right now. Tomorrow, next week, next month, and later tonight, the prices could be different. But if you don't want to play the broker for whatever reason, I could have sworn there was an entrance to Mercy's Hospital where you could go fight Mr. Freeze here. Or normally it should be here. Well, let me check with another character. I guess they made more changes than I thought. There is another option. Let me show it to you right now. There is the Arkham Asylum mission where you actually fight Mr. Freeze. You actually fight him twice. You fight Mr. Freeze, then you fight Poison Ivy, and then you fight the Scarecrow. And then towards the end of the mission, you fight them again, all three of them at the same time. So technically you fight Mr. Freeze twice in this mission. I assume you may have a chance to get the weapon twice, but I'm not quite sure about that. But again, I have no idea how rare the drop is. So your odds are you will have to play the mission over and over again. But here in this case, you should be able to get a chance to get Mr. Freeze's weapon, and you should be able to get a chance to get the Scarecrow weapon. So you have two chances to get two different weapons. So that might be a good option. Oh, we enjoy it all indeed. But I haven't tried to solo this mission yet, so I don't know if we can still solo it. At some point, we could just enter the portal and solo the mission. If for some reason you do not want to solo it or you cannot solo it, it is part of the 4-player missions that you have access in your on-duty menu. So here you can see Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, and Scarecrow join forces to take over Arkham. So this is where you could go to fight the evil Mr. Freeze and hope to get his weapon.
Exercise.